Okay, so here we have the totally deboned turkey from yesterday. Notice, no bones. All spread out, filleted nicely. We're gonna stuff this turkey and reform it today. And the first thing we want to do is just lightly season the inside with some salt and pepper. One of the nice things about stuffing the turkey this way is that the flavor from the stuffing really gets into the meat of the bird, which really doesn't happen if you stuff it with the bones in. Now we're going to add just a little bit of oil. We add oil to help keep things moist and also to carry the flavors of the stuffing a little bit better. When we're done with this turkey, it's going to be completely reformed and look pretty much like a turkey that had bones in it. And so to do that, what we need to do is sew up the skin, which is why we wanted to keep it in one place. And then we're going to tie the bird up using what's called a butcher's knot on the outside. So what I have here is a very large needle, some very thin cooking thread, and I'm just going to sew up, starting at the back of the bird, the skin. So we put it through. I always wind up putting a lot more thread on than I actually need. I don't want to run out in the middle. Tie this so it stays there. This is as close to being a surgeon as I will ever get. And you're about to see why that is. So we're just sewing up the back of this so that the stuffing doesn't fall out. And what you see is that the skin is kind of rough and ragged here. It's not even. Should have a little more skin on this side than we actually do. Not really a very big deal. As you'll see, this is just to kind of hold the stuffing in while we're stuffing. Now you can use lots of different kinds of stuffing. Sometimes I use a meat stuffing. Today we're going to use a classic bread stuffing. In addition to the breadcrumbs and all that, I put a little egg in the stuffing so it will hold together. So we're going to push the stuffing, first of all, into the legs. These are amazingly good. In fact, if you just buy turkey legs and debone them and stuff them like this, it makes a great meal. Okay. What I'm doing is squeezing the stuffing down into the leg. I'm doing this because I want stuffing throughout the whole leg, but also because it makes it look more like a real leg. Alright, do the other leg. Now be careful not to pull our few stitches out here. I'd say that's good enough. Now how much stuffing you put in the turkey is completely up to you. I happen to like a lot of stuffing. My wife doesn't like so much. So I'll try and compromise. So now that we have the leg stuffed, we want to continue our stitching so that as we go more towards the body of the bird with the stuffing, things still stay together. Okay. thing I didn't mention was I had moved the tenders around so that the breast meat was more evenly laid around the skin. Now we're just going to mound up some stuffing in the center. By pulling up the sides, we get an idea of how much we got there. And put some of the stuffing into the wing, just as we did with the leg. Definitely not the kind of dish to do if you don't like getting your hands dirty. The beauty part of this, which you're not going to be able to see, because we're going to eat this turkey on Shabbos, is that when it's all done, we slice it like a loaf. So the carving isn't an issue, and everybody gets a nice slice of turkey and some stuffing all in one piece. Okay, so now that we have most of the stuffing in it, we're going to sew all the way up the top and down around the front of the bird. And make sure that you get far enough back in the skin so that when you pull the string, it doesn't just pull right through the skin. And just before you serve it, what you do is you cut the string at the end and just pull it right off, right through. Comes off very easily. You don't want to cut the bird for serving before you pull the string out, otherwise, in addition to turkey and stuffing, everybody will get a piece of string, which you don't really want to have happen. Okay, so you can see here that I'd like to have a little more stuffing, so we're going to put that in there. Again, we want to kind of keep everything even all the way. This is nice for presentation, but also helps it cook evenly. And this turkey, which is about a 13-pound turkey, will cook in probably about 2.5 to 3 hours. This is another nice benefit. This seems to happen to me fairly regularly, where I pull the string right out of the needle. So I'm just going to thread that in again. Turn this for you so you can see what we're doing. Now this particular bird, we had a split up the back, I guess because the cavity was opened quite a bit. Depends on how the bird comes from the store. We're going to stick a little bit more stuffing right in that hole too. As I say, I really like stuffing in my bird. So sometimes you don't have to go all the way around like this. Sometimes this part of the bird is already sealed up pretty well. Okay. As I think about it, this is probably the first time I've ever had to do it this way. Alright, so we're all the way around, bird sealed. Just going to come through a couple of times to make a knot. And trim off the excess from both ends. So here's the end we finished at, and here's the back end. All right. So this is the back of the bird. The breast meat's all underneath. When we cook it, we're going to cook it with the breast side down first until it's pretty much done and browned on the top. Then flip the bird over, cook the breast side up until it's finished cooking. I'm just going to wipe my hands off a bit and show you how to tie the bird up with what's called a butcher's knot. And you do this again to make sure that the bird cooks nice and evenly. And start by tying the legs together right at the ends, just before the bone. See that there? The double knot here. Okay, now there's lots of different techniques for doing a butcher's knot, but basically it's a big slip knot. What I like to do is the following. So I pull, I make a loop, and I put the loop around the bird. Then we pull until the feet, the legs, are nice and close against the back of the bird. That's our first loop. Now you've seen this, roasts are tied this way oftentimes when we get them from the butcher. Get this needle out of the way. Okay, and then we just keep doing these loops help hold the bird together during cooking and keep it fairly even. Okay, so another loop. Be tricky getting under the wing here. Around the other side. Now if you don't want to do this, you can certainly just tie string around the bird every so often. But this is certainly the more professional way to tie it up. I'm going to tie the wings down kind of at the last minute. That side, this side we're going to have to, that's that extra string getting in my way. Let's put that wing right through there. As you can see, you can do some adjusting as you go. Turn the bird over. Unfortunately, I'm grabbing the towel. Okay. Now on this side, what we do is we loop the string around each of these sections Just straighten out the sections as you go. Okay, and then tie this onto the end that we use to tie the legs together. And that's all there is to it. This is a deboned and stuffed turkey, ready to go in the oven. I like to cook it, started out at 400 degrees. Keep it at 400 till the top is nice and browned, and then I usually turn it down to 375 to finish. So again, this is the what side is that? Okay, so this is the back side. This side we cook up first, and this is the breast side, which we're cooking down first. Cook halfway, flip it over, finish the cooking. Well, hope you try it. Good luck. Enjoy it.